feels like every day
Right.
there's just more and more to learn, more to know, more to keep up with.
It really is overwhelming.
Right. Like it used to be, we'd talk about drinking from a fire hose of information.
Right.
I think now it's like we're just stuck in the middle of a hurricane of data.
Yeah.
Like every direction you turn, there's something new that you're supposed to be an expert in.
Yeah.
Or at least understand. So how do we even begin to make sense of it all?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do with these deep dives, right?
Exactly.
We take the things that our listeners are interested in, help them cut through the noise, and really focus on what's important.
I love that.
You know, the core concepts, the surprising facts, the things that people will actually remember.
Absolutely. It's like having a personal guide through the information jungle.
Right.
You know, helping you avoid those information pitfalls and dead ends.
It's so easy to get lost.
It really is.
You start clicking on one link and then another and then another. Yeah. And before you know it, you're 3 hours deep into something that's completely irrelevant to what you were originally trying to learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to provide a more curated experience, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
You bring the curiosity,
Yeah.
we bring the tools and the expertise to help you really understand it.
And speaking of tools today, we're really focusing on a powerful one that a lot of our listeners are probably already familiar with.
Yeah.
NotebookLM from Google.
It's been making waves.
It has, and for good reason. I mean, it's this AI-powered research and writing assistant.
It's amazing how much it can do.
Right. And it's designed to work with all sorts of information, not just like boring old research papers.
Oh, definitely not. You can throw pretty much anything at it.
Yeah, like what?
So, you know, obviously Google Docs are kind of its bread and butter.
Right.
But PDFs, websites, YouTube videos, you can even upload audio recordings or even Google Slides presentations.
Wow. So, like, literally anything I might use to learn about something, I could just feed it to NotebookLM.
Exactly.
And it does its magic.
And that's what we're really diving into today.
Right.
What's new, what's improved, and how can it help you learn even more effectively?
Okay, so there are a lot of exciting new features in NotebookLM.
A lot has changed.
But one that really stood out to me when I was exploring it was this Discover Sources feature.
Oh, yeah. That's a game changer.
Because sometimes the hardest part of learning something new is just knowing where to start.
Absolutely. You're faced with this blank page and this blinking cursor.
Right, and the entire internet.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even begin?
It's paralyzing.
Totally. So this feature kind of eliminates that, right?
It does.
You basically just tell NotebookLM what you're interested in, and it goes out and finds relevant information for you.
Right, and it's not just doing simple keyword searches.
So it's not just like, you know, if I type in space exploration,
Right.
it's not going to give me every single website that mentions those words.
Exactly. It's using this really advanced AI called Gemini.
Oh, I've heard of Gemini.
It's Google's latest and greatest. It's able to actually understand the meaning of what you're asking.
Wow.
So it can identify sources that are likely to be informative and helpful for your specific needs.
So it's like having a research librarian in your pocket.
Pretty much.
That's amazing.
And the best part is it doesn't just overwhelm you with a ton of results.
Oh, so it's curated.
Yeah, it gives you up to 10 source recommendations,
Okay.
each with a little summary explaining why it thinks that source is relevant.
That's so helpful because I know for me, I'll often click on like 10 different links
Yeah.
just to see if they're actually what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and waste a lot of time.
Totally. So this is a huge time saver.
Huge.
Okay, so how do we actually use this Discover Sources thing? Where is it?
So when you open up NotebookLM, right next to the Add Source button,
Okay.
you'll see a new button that says Discover. And it's got this little magnifying glass with sparkles around it.
Sparkles. I like.
It's very visual.
Okay, so I click Discover, and then what?
And then you just describe what you're interested in.
In plain English.
Yeah, just like you would tell a friend.
Okay.
You don't need to use any special search terms or anything like that.
That's good because I'm not a Boolean search expert.
No need for that here.
Okay, so I type in my topic, hit enter.
And then NotebookLM will do its thing. It'll go out and search the web using Gemini's AI powers and come back with those up to 10 source recommendations.
Okay, and then what? Do those sources like open in new tabs?
Nope, it's even better than that.
Okay.
You can actually add any of those discovered sources directly into your NotebookLM notebook with just one click.
So it's all contained within the same environment.
Exactly, nice and tidy.
So it's not like I'm jumping back and forth between different windows and tabs.
No, it's all right there.
Okay, so I've got my new sources in my notebook. Now what can I do with them?
Well, anything you could do with any other source in NotebookLM.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like that briefing docs thing,
Yes.
which I love,
Yeah, it's so helpful.
where it just gives you like the key takeaways
Exactly.
from a long document or article,
It saves so much time.
or generating those FAQs,
Yes, those are great too.
where it kind of anticipates the questions someone might have about the material.
It's like having a study guide created for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So all those features still work with these newly discovered sources.
They do.
So amazing.
You can also create those cool mind maps.
Oh, yeah. Those sound interesting.
They're great for visualizing how different concepts are connected.
Yeah.
You can chat with the AI about the content, take notes.
So basically anything you can do with any other source, you
Exactly.
can do with these ones.
It's very seamless.
I like that a lot. And what about that I'm feeling curious button I saw?
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one.
So if I don't even know what I want to learn about,
Mm-hmm.
I can just click that and it will surprise me.
It'll pick a random topic.
Okay. And then find some sources for you to explore.
So it's like a little serendipity engine.
Exact.
I love that. And when will this Discover Sources feature be available for everyone?
It's already started rolling out. They started on April 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
and they said it should be available to all NotebookLM users within a week.
So pretty much everyone listening to this should have it by now.
Probably.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got a smarter way to find information.
Right.
What else is new? I know you mentioned something about mind maps earlier.
Yes, the Mind Maps feature is brand new,
Okay.
and it's really cool for visual learners.
I'm a visual learner.
It takes all the information you have in your notebook
Okay.
and turns it into an interactive concept map.
So instead of just like reading through a bunch of text, I can
Yeah.
actually see how different ideas are related to each other.
Exactly.
And you said it's interactive, so it's not just like a static image.
Right. You can click on different parts of the mind map,
Okay.
and it'll expand to show you more details.
And you can even use the mind map to create questions to ask the AI in the chat.
So if I see something in the mind map that I don't understand,
Mhm.
I can just click on it and be like, hey, explain this to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll give me more information.
Right, from the original source.
So I'm not losing that context.
Nope, it's all connected.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Okay, so we've got better ways to find information,
Mm-hmm.
better ways to visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
What about those audio overviews?
Yes, the audio overviews have gotten a huge upgrade too.
They were already pretty cool before.
They were.
Like it would create these simulated podcast conversations
Right.
based on the sources in my notebook.
It was amazing.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's this new interactive mode.
Yes, have you tried it yet?
I have. It's still in beta,
It is.
but it's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
You can actually join the conversation now
You can.
using your voice.
So it's like you're having a conversation with these AI hosts
All right.
about the stuff you're trying to learn.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
wild.
So you're listening to the audio overview,
Yeah.
and then one of the AI hosts will be like, do you have any questions about this? And then you can just tap a button and ask your question using your computer's microphone.
It's like having a personal tutor
It really is.
who's an expert in whatever I'm trying to learn.
And they're always available.
Yeah, no scheduling conflicts.
24/7.
That's amazing.
And it's not just like pre-programmed questions and answers either.
Oh, so it's really understanding what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's using the same AI that powers the rest of NotebookLM.
So it's context aware.
Yes, very much so.
That's incredible. I did notice that it's still a little bit clunky in places.
Yeah, being a beta feature,
Right.
there are some rough edges.
Like sometimes there are these awkward pauses
Yeah,
while it's thinking,
it's still learning.
and sometimes the answers aren't perfect.
Yeah, it's not quite human level yet.
But it's getting there.
It is. It's improving all the time.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too. It has so much potential.
Okay, so we've talked about finding sources, visualizing information,
Mm-hmm.
having these interactive audio conversations. What about the overall user experience?
Oh, yeah. They've completely redesigned the interface.
Okay.
It's much cleaner and more intuitive now.
I did notice that.
Yeah, it's much easier to use.
What's different?
So they've divided it into 3 main sections.
Okay.
On the left, you have the sources panel.
Okay.
That's where you manage all the information you've added.
Got it.
In the middle, you have the chat panel.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you talk to the AI.
And get those citations.
Yes,
Yeah.
always with citations.
Which is so important.
very important.
And then on the right is the studio panel.
Yes, that's where the magic happens.
Okay.
That's where you create all the different outputs.
So like the briefing docs,
Yes.
the FAQs,
Mm-hmm.
the audio overviews.
The mind maps, everything.
It's all in one place.
It is very organized.
I like it. And is the interface still customizable?
Oh, yeah, even more so now.
Okay.
Like if you're working on a long document, you can expand the source viewer and the notes editor side by side.
So I can see everything at once.
Exactly.
And then if I'm listening to an audio overview and I want to ask a question, I can just pop open the chat panel.
Right there, without interrupting the audio.
That's really slick. Now, I also saw something about customizing those AI hosts in the audio overviews.
Oh, yeah, you can actually choose what you want them to focus on.
Really?
Yeah, when you're setting up the audio overview, you can tell it which parts of your sources are the most important.
So it's not just like a generic overview.
No, it's tailored to your specific needs.
That's really cool. And before we wrap up, just a quick question about the input limits.
Sure.
How much can you actually put into NotebookLM?
So with the free version, you can add up to 50 sources to a single notebook.
Okay.
And that's equivalent to about 25 million words.
Wow, that's a lot of words.
It is.
And with the paid version, NotebookLM Plus, you get 250 sources.
Okay.
Which is like 150 million words.
So enough for like a small library.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
New ways to find information, visualize it, interact with it. But let's talk about the bigger picture.
Okay.
How do all these new features actually benefit someone who's trying to learn something new?
Well, I think it all comes down to efficiency and engagement, right?
Okay.
These tools are designed to help you learn more in less time and to make the learning process itself more enjoyable.
Okay, so like, for example, that Discover Sources feature
Yeah.
that eliminates all that time I would normally spend just searching for information.
Exactly.
And the summaries help me quickly decide which sources are actually worth my time.
Yeah, no more clicking through endless links.
Right. And then the mind maps.
They're great for visual learners.
Yes, they help you see the big picture and understand how different ideas are connected.
It's like creating a map of the knowledge landscape.
I love that. And then those interactive audio overviews.
Oh, yeah.
They're like having a personal tutor who can answer your questions in real time.
It's incredible.
And because it's using your voice, it feels much more natural and engaging than just reading text.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the redesigned interface.
It's all about making the tool easier to use
Yeah.
so you can focus on the learning, not the technology.
That's so important.
It is. You don't want to be fighting with the software.
Right. You want it to just work.
Exactly.
So imagine you're someone who's constantly trying to learn new things, like maybe you're a student,
Okay.
or you're in a job where you need to stay up to date on the latest trends.
Mm-hmm.
These features can really make a difference in how quickly you can absorb new information.
Absolutely.
Like imagine being able to quickly get up to speed on a new topic
Yeah.
just by using NotebookLM to find relevant sources, generate a briefing doc, and then chat with the AI to clarify anything you don't understand.
That would be so powerful.
Or if you're studying for an exam,
Yeah.
you could use NotebookLM to create a mind map of all the key concepts, and then use the audio overviews to quiz yourself.
And then if you get stuck on something,
Yeah,
you can just ask the AI for help.
it's like having a study buddy who's always available
Exactly.
and who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, no more arguing with your roommate about who's right.
Right. And the best part is it's all grounded in the information that you provide.
Yes.
So it's not just making stuff up,
No, it's using your sources as the foundation.
which is so important when it comes to AI, right?
Absolutely. You want to be able to trust the information.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that NotebookLM is becoming a really powerful tool for anyone who wants to learn more effectively.
It's a game changer.
And it's not just about finding information.
No, it's about understanding it.
Yeah.
Making connections and really internalizing it.
It's exciting to think about how this kind of technology could transform the way we learn.
Yeah, imagine a world where everyone has access to this kind of personalized learning experience.
Right, where it's not just about memorizing facts,
Yeah.
but about actually understanding them and being able to apply them in the real world.
It's a really exciting time to be a learner.
It is, and I encourage everyone listening to go check out NotebookLM for themselves.
Yes, go to notebooklm.google.com.
And play around with these new features.
You won't be disappointed.
You might be surprised at just how much you can learn
And how quickly.
in just a few hours.
It's amazing.
Thanks so much for joining me today for this deep dive into NotebookLM.
It's my pleasure.
I hope you learned something new
I know I did.
and that you're feeling inspired to go out and explore the world of knowledge.
Yeah, go learn something new today.
Absolutely. Until next time, happy learning.
Happy learning.